Okay, time to head for the bench with the next project. Well, head for where I'm working anyway. Bench is still a little cluttered. Next project is going to be the Revell SnapTite MAX Poe Dameron Xwing fighter, the skill level 2 kit, which has a good number of parts to deal with. Like the smaller 150, or like the smaller build and play kits, it is a pre-painted kit. One issue I'm going to address with the kit is the fact it has no pilot figure, though it does come with the BB-8. So what I have done is I've taken one of the pilots from the Bandai Snowspeeder, and I'm going to be using some arms, both the arms that I cut off, as well as arms from the from this set of parts from a Squadron 148th World War II set, to fabricate a pilot to put in the cockpit. Now, I've already gone in and modified the cockpit, both grinding down the seat so the pilot will actually fit under the canopy properly, and cutting open the front of the cockpit tub so you could actually put the pilot's legs through it. As you can see, he'll actually fit fairly well. Obviously, he's going to need assembly and paint before he's ready to go in. Now, before I start work on this one, I want to clarify something I said about the build and play kits. Let me grab the build and play version of Poe's to make my point. When I did that one, I claimed, based off the cockpit, that that ship was 1/48 scale. Well, laying them side by side here, you can see the fuselages are radically different in length. So, that being said, I'm going to do a partial retraction. On this version, the cockpit is 1/48 scale or so. The rest of the plane is decidedly smaller than that. This one, though the net claims it's about 1/50th, I'm going to say it's close enough to 1/48th to call it that. We'll play that by ear once we actually start construction. Right now, there's no real plan to redo any of the markings. I will do some weathering, but as far as the build itself, it's going to be mostly box stock. I do have one complaint with the larger model versus the build and play kit, namely this detail right here. It's very soft on this one, whereas it's actually better detailed. If I can get a good look at it here. It's actually better detailed in here than it is on the larger kit. This is all flat detail, whereas it should actually be rounded to some extent to represent the engines. I may see what I can do about fixing that. I may not. Kind of depends on my mood at the time. We'll play it by ear. Alright, given the nature of this thing as a snap-together kit, it should be no surprise that it is literally flying together. The canopy will open enough to let me insert the pilot after paint, so I'm not worried there. At this point, I've got the wings fully assembled, minus the landing gear doors and the guns. So the instructions are calling for me to put the wings into the main body. Just cut the rear plate out of the sprues, so that's where we're going next. I have also got the base built. Don't know if I'm going to use it, but I've got it built. moving right along. Alright, at this point, pilot figure's been painted up. Did his suit in a base orange acrylic. Boots and gloves are in black. What skin is exposed on his face was painted with a flesh tone, and then his goggles were painted in yellow. The whole figure was given a black wash. And at this point, it's pretty much ready to be inserted into the cockpit. Now, as you can see, I've actually got the whole ship assembled. I've still got some weathering I want to do on it. But the first thing I addressed was the plates in the bottom of the intakes, which, while Revell seemed to have everything else pre-painted, they left black. But I figured to match the rest of the intake, I'd go ahead and paint them in light gray. Got to insert the pilot. I've given the cockpit panels themselves a black wash. But yeah, I've got to insert the pilot and do some weathering, and this bird will be done. Okay, with this being a snap kit, I didn't really think it would take too long to get done. I was right. At this point, calling the build itself done, I went in and with Vallejo smoke on the colored sections, as well as some black, some silver on the black sections, and the occasional bit of a black wash in the engines and on the back plate for detail. I detailed the build. As you can see, it was built landing gear down, or sorry, landing gear up. But at this point, Poe Dameron's black leader from The Force Awakens is done. The wings will gotta remember which direction they're supposed to pop. The wings do open and close still. They will lock into the closed position. Granted, it probably won't get displayed with them in the closed position very often. But at this point, ship's ready to go. BB-8's in place, Poe's in place, cockpit's closed up. I'm going to put some stills at the end of this one, and we'll get ready for the next build. Thanks for watching.